G'day and welcome to Navadia. Scrotum! Okay, so now I have your attention. If you have any children in your vicinity and you really don't want them listening about the male anatomy, it might not be a good idea to watch this video at this very moment because we don't want them being exposed to things that they aren't suitable for them. Copper! Sorry. Today I want to talk about two underappreciated muscles in the human body. They're both found in the testicular region of the body. But before I get into the muscles, let's talk about the testes. In a spectacular example of why intelligent design is not a thing, the testicles, or more accurately the testes, are presented on the outside of the male body and are known to be particularly sensitive to both pressure and temperature. The reason why they're on the outside of the body is because spermatogenesis, which is the creation of sperm, happens in the testicles and it is temperature dependent. Basically, healthy sperm does not get produced at body temperature and needs to be produced by an external, or more medically accurate term, superficial organ. Evolution 1, intelligent design 0. For healthy sperm to be produced, it needs to be done so at around 34 degrees centigrade, which is 3 degrees lower than the body. Fun fact, there's a pair of underwear in trials that actually stores heat around the testes as a form of male contraception, but there's evidence that after a long period of use, a person may not be able to regain their fertility. Also, if you're a fan of your testes and you use a laptop, make sure you have something between it and your family jewels because you might find your ability to have offspring could be reduced. So to counteract the problem with temperature and the ability to produce the wrigglies, testes evolved outside the body. This is a problem for many reasons. First of all, I have been told by reliable sources, i.e. men, that they get in the way. Sitting on them is not an uncommon experience. I refer back to the mention of the fact that they are particularly sensitive to pressure. Another problem is that because they are outside of the body, they are more prone to damage, which also means that if they do get damage, it may cause the testy owner to become infertile. That may explain why they hurt so much when people get a sack whack, because it's a friendly reminder by evolution that sperm is one of the most important things needed to pass on your genetics. Or that evolution hates testes. Either way. By the way, I know you all probably know this. I just want to make this video longer for YouTube's algorithm, and since I'm not monetized, fuck it. Since the testes are so sensitive to temperature, how does the body regulate it to make sure they are working in tip-top, or bottom, way? Well, in response to the temperature issue, it has created two muscles, one of which is called the dartus. It is the scrotal muscle that is a part of the dartus fascia, which is a layer of connective tissue which is found in the penile shaft, foreskin, and scrotum. If you are confused by what the fascia is, I've linked a really interesting video by SciShow on it here, or here, somewhere. Basically, the fascia is a sheet of collagen that connects your body together. So the dartos muscle consists of mainly smooth muscle and is hanging around in the scrotum area just under the skin and is responsible for the wrinkly appearance of the wrinkly balls. Its function is to make sure that when it gets cold, heat loss is prevented by contracting and making the scrotal skin thicker and having less surface area around the testes. When it is warm, the dartos goes the other way by becoming flaccid. Yes, that's a genuine medical term for a relaxed muscle, and making the skin thinner and increasing the surface area of scrotal skin. This, of course, regulates the transference of heat from the testes to the outside world. The dartos muscle works closely with another muscle, which also has one of the best names I have ever heard of my life and seems somewhat appropriate considering where it is positioned, which is called the crowmaster. How awesome is that name? So the crowmaster is a muscle that surrounds the testicle and the spermatic cord, which is basically what it sounds like. The spermatic cord is a cord-like structure that is found in males that includes the vas deferens, which is the tube sperm goes through, and the surrounding tissue. The crowmaster is made up of striated muscles. So striated muscles are known as skeletal muscles and are used in the body for basically movement, whereas smooth muscles are largely autonomic, meaning that you can't control them. Smooth muscles have several functions, such as pushing food through your intestines, it closes and opens your pupil and expels urine from your bladder, etc. They're basically the housekeeping muscles. Anyway, Back to the crowmaster. So it is found in the groin area and in the scrotum between the internal and external fascia. The lateral crowmaster muscle starts in the internal oblique muscle, which is here just above the inguinal canal. The inguinal canal is a passage in the groin which conveys the spermatic cords in males and round ligaments in females. The medial crowmaster muscle, which is sometimes absent, so evolution 2, intelligent design 0, starts in the pubic bone here and sometimes in the pubic crest here. Both crowmaster muscles insert into the tunica vaginalis, which is underneath the testes. The blood is supplied by the crowmasteric artery, and the nerve supply comes from the genital branch of the genitofemoral nerve. This nerve runs through your genitals and down your legs, supplying to your toes. When your toes are stimulated, the nerves in your genital area also get stimulated due to this quirk of evolution, which is why your toes curl when you orgasm and why someone sucking on your toes also turns you on. So there you go, sex tip for you. Evolution 3, intelligent design 1, because, well, let's be honest, that's a pretty intelligent design feature. So the function of the crowmaster is basically to work in conjunction with the dartus to regulate the temperature in the testes. So it does that by contracting and raising the testicles closer to the body and when cold, and reducing the exposed area. It also relaxes or becomes flaccid when hot to expose the skin to more airflow. There is a reflex called the crowmasteric reflex, which is done by stroking the skin on the inner thigh, which stimulates the nerves, which causes contraction of the muscle and elevates the testes. Occasionally, the muscle can experience painful spasms, which can be chronic and debilitating, which I suppose is understandable. They can treat this by applying heat, or doing minor surgery or injecting Botox into the muscle without any significant side effects. If you experience pain in the groin area, please, you absolutely have to go to the doctor. So I hope you enjoyed that video, learnt a little bit about the dangly bits, and maybe now can educate people using science-based sex tip. Please go enjoy touching a crowmaster or having your crowmaster touched, if that sentence applies to you, of course, and only if you want to do so. Remember, if it's not on, and no means no. Stay safe and happy, everyone, and in the meantime, scandium, iodine, nitrogen, and cerium. I also want to say a special thank you to my patrons, especially my $10 Redback Spider patrons, Aided Fairball, Lauren Hart, Ross Devereux, Mary Civitano, and Amanda Vogue. I also want to say a special thank you to my $20 Platypus patrons, Atheist Passer, and of course, Jassa G. Thank you so much for your support, and I do hope you can now use this video to go and embarrass somebody important in your life.